Greetings, Agent of the Earth Directorate. I am Ruth Bassar, presiding Bishop of the Order of the Ascendant. At this time, I can only presume you think us your enemy, directly responsible for your colleague Augustine de Vries' actions way back on Horizon Point. I assure you, we were not. A splinter group was behind that heresy. The collective of scientists and scholars I lead are committed to elevating humanity by pursuing a greater understanding of reality. I believe our goals are not incompatible. We both oppose the Protectorate, and we both wish to preserve Arcadia from ruin. We can help each other. I entreat you to speak with Abbot Newell. He can be found in Golden Ridge at Matriarch's Mercy. He will aid you in your mission, and hopefully, you will see fit to aid us in ours. Nav key coordinates to the Golden Ridge landing pad on Dorado are embedded in this message. Go forth as was determined, and may the plan guide you.
The Order of the Ascendant awaits us on Golden Ridge, Commander.
Commander, the nav key coordinates supplied by the presiding Bishop of the Order have been verified. Landing in Golden Ridge is now possible. Additionally, we are also able to land in Free Market Station, due to the astrogator's progress with the updates necessitated by its rebuild. Golden Ridge is located on Dorado. It is home to the Alexandra Monastery and Matriarch's Mercy, as well as previously being a center for mining uranium. The Protectorate abandoned it soon after the invasion, leaving Auntie's Choice and the Order of the Ascendant to fight for control of the area and its resources. Free Market Station is an independent marketplace, the only one in the system. It is called such as it was built out of a crashed Auntie's Choice freighter by that name. Agent Ibarra prioritized your recovery above pursuing Agent de Vries. This involved disassembling and rebuilding the astrogator to allow the incognito to travel to your location. As the rebuilding process progresses, old nav keys may be unlocked. Unfortunately, most of them are likely not recoverable.
I'd say it's at least moderately concerning that the presiding bishop's agent knew when and where to find us. They can call it predictive all they like, I call it stalking. But an invitation to parlay ain't nothing to scoff at, considering. Anyway, was there something you needed, Commander? Oh, I see. You're here to gossip. All right, let's hear it. Who do you want to talk about? Seems friendly enough, if a mite guarded and a little thick-headed in his view of Auntie's choice. Regardless, I can assure you I'll treat him with the same respect I show you. Though I reckon he's seen his fair share of struggles over the years, no matter how he tries to hide it. Think he ought to ask for help when he needs it.
The second choice has got a new shipment of swill. Gave it a try. Meat's amazing, but not too bad.
What? I was just... Can't chit-chat. I got a line on something big at the moment.
Whoa, didn't realize we were landing so close to the action.
We got bases down there. If one of them got hit, then that strike will be the first of many.
Passenger, you are running 21,027.5 hours late for your tram. Please be mindful of your departure in the future. Your patience is commendable, passenger. Please continue waiting quietly until the next tram arrives. Stay vigilant. Report any suspicious activity to your nearest station warden.
This station must have really been something before the war made its home here. If things escalate, it might never be something again.
The plan can wait. Our lines will know. New subjects arrive. Minutes early to avoid missing their tram. This is your 2061st reminder to keep all personal items within the home limits.
Folk were hunkered down here. Wonder how long they held out before. Well, best not to think about it. We got an appointment to keep at Matriarch's Mercy. Let's just hope we don't get shelled too.
A gentle reminder to all non-order residents of Matriarch's Mercy. Exclusions of entries respectfully.
Please, somebody help us! Anybody, please! Finally! Some help! We desperately need aid. Desperately! My family and I, we was making our way to the mercy camp for us refugees. We were set upon. My wife, my son were injured. Can't move them by myself. I had to leave them just past this tunnel so as I could go for help. But being alone is even more riskier. The Varachnids, I chased them off, but they'll be back. Please help us. Ain't nothing I can do for them, but you got weapon and medicines and can get us to the camp. Please. I don't... Vary, by my guess. She was bit on the thigh, high, like, can see bone. Or maybe white means infected? She's screaming all the time when she's awake. Then she goes to sleep. She in agony. And my son ain't waked since the attack. Hurry, please. We must hurry or they'll be eaten. Or worse. Thank you. Thank you. This way. This way.
On your command.
Over here! 3 hole in the head!
Refugees, looks like. And after that strike, there'll only be more at the gates.
Another refugee? All right, step forward. Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations. Oh, no, we can't allow that. You'd best go and see our doctor at once. Just keep your distance from others. Our calculations do not afford many sick refugees. Welcome to Matriarch's Mercy. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger. I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what? Or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out. Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide the stars. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts. Safety and probability are incompatible. Eventually, nowhere will be safe, including here. Not at present, but according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable. That's enough questions. Keep the line moving. You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley. He's in the lift building, straight through the settlement.
I remember this place before the war. Functioning tramiculars. The peaceful silence of the canyons.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Wish. Between the invaders and the order defecting, there's no putting this sprat back into the
I swear,
camp.
it's nigh on impossible to find decent animal remains of its
Wastelands devoid of life? No, Arcadia is doomed. Plain and simple.
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions.
Reminds me of Tau Ceti right after the merger. Had to wait for my number to be called just to get rations and a cot.
Friends! Nate, apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Frivolous jocularity is one of a vicar's key methods for establishing rapport with lay people. If we gab a bit, I might restock my arsenal for witty rejoinders and quips. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common lay people are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail. Oh, dear. I got ahead of myself, didn't I? That's an occupational hazard around here. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle. Never as many as I would like, perhaps, but my little congregation grows by the hour. Eventually, my unsophisticated layperson friend, the knowledge just seeps right in. Give it a few years and they'll even be asking questions.
What happened to this place? Where do we go now? Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict within 8.
We're not going anywhere.
You have a
Not on the basis of some half-baked prediction. Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me. May Huffstutler, formerly Auntie's Choice, Department of Invasive Marketing. Now, the voice of the displaced. That's what those in the Order call me, leastways. An unofficial sobriquet, likely meant as a petulant slight. On account I object. Louder. More often than the rest. Those of us ended up here have very little except needs. I turn those into demands for reasons of clarity and import. Though, admittedly, it's a difficult way to make friends. The Order's not exactly fond of me. Rabble-rousing doesn't align with their vision of a perfect universe. Happy as I am to make your acquaintance, I'm busy staking our claim over the exclusion zone, so if you'll excuse me. The exclusion zone. The Order has decided to keep us out thanks to some nebulous prediction of disaster. Screw their predictions. We have people, displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them. Chance of life-threatening peril from a yet-to-be-determined catastrophe were the administrant's words. Not what I would call specific. I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not occur. I couldn't get anywhere with Administrant Agarwal, but you, maybe you'll have better luck. Thanks, stranger. Maybe fate's on our side for a change. You can find Agarwal in the lift building, probably formulating another equation to get on my nerves.
What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's Mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Look on the bright side. I predict that the worst is behind us.
Oh! A visit? Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order projection. I mean, prediction. Granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, roundabout fashion. Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good. I'll say, I try not to make any big plans until I consult my latest POP. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rolo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one, as a laugh. Everybody ribbed me about it. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on. Sure, but I've had 9 POPs so far, and at least 3 times something similar happened. Avoided drowning in a culvert, sidestepped my mantisaur allergy. Forget the other. Things like that just illustrate the fragile nature of human existence, especially here in Golden Ridge. My co-occupant Ike had a POP done and told him avoid liquids for 48 hours. He ignored it. Later got drunk, passed out, drowned face first in a puddle of water. You did catch the part I said they'd save my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. That's something you can take to the bank, Figuratively speaking. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, don't tell me. You're here on behalf of the voice of the displaced, aren't you? Mathematical predictions always keep us one step ahead. My latest augury noted that a stranger would come bearing an inconvenient message. This is about the exclusion zone, correct? Or that it only that simple, but she ignores essential variables of the equation. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. Tell me, which of us has the title of administrant before their name? The responsibility is mine, as are the consequences. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, "An outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute. And now the voice has involved you. How auspicious. Perhaps you are the outside mediator who was foretold." The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's Mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. With your seasoned perspective, perhaps the voice of the displaced will learn to listen. Any questions before you get started? I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade. But you already knew that. Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here. According to predictions, yes. Or at least, my interpretation of them. I am reasonably certain, more than usual, in fact. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, we will decide the fate of the exclusion zone.
$1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced. I have 0 allotted time for random queries, at present or in the foreseeable future. But very well. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one could hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me. The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources. Appreciate you respecting my time. You may recall, as I stated earlier, my attention is 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced. I haven't any time for idle chatter, but I suppose I can carve out a moment for urgent business.
No offense to Val. Anyway, need something, Commander? Sure. Oh.
By the law. It's you. Thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. True, but the Order's predictions know you better than you know yourself. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are, a dashing outsider standing before me. Strictly speaking, it isn't. Not yet. But the math is very, very, very good at predicting what is probably most likely, extremely possible. In theory. Within a margin of error. Anyway, that is the Seer's business. My business is the health and welfare of this camp. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them. My thanks, stranger. Probability is on our side. The Seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. How can I be of service? As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all. Since you aren't a refugee, I hope you understand that I cannot offer my goods free of charge, but my prices are fair.
You're right. The universe does not orient itself toward fairness. But it's my firm belief humanity can do better.
All evidence to the contrary.
Ah! I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well then, I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct? We utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible, and advanced calculations using well-honed models to effectuate it. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We'd need to solve the universal equation to do that. Fortunately, we're all working very hard on that problem. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented mathematicians. After years of study, some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. Others can estimate with up to 71.1% accuracy several months out. Of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense. Unforeseen factors, random elements, anomalous outliers, incalculable variables, all of them can undercut the accuracy of our predictions. But as we close in on solving the universal equation, unknown unknowns will become known unknowns. Then finally, known knowns. You follow? Matriarch's mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence. Why, I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area. I share the very same surprise. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly. One of our recent guests, Rollo Nast, has received multiple personalized order predictions. I believe he could speak to the effectiveness of our ways firsthand. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well. True, my situation does lack a certain refinement. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's mercy. We all must do the best we can with limited means. I foresee you have much to do. I won't keep you. Adieu.
I suppose I could spare 0.004% of my daily cycle to say hello.
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Reach. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability?
If I may interject, High Scholar, don't you agree our time would be better utilized on more relevant discourse?
Seer Wiley's right, as always. Obviously, we've all more important things to do than to stand around trifling with truth tables. Perhaps later then. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Reach? Victor? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the N-Ray range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution. Besides the highly caustic Zeranium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay.
Fascinating. Your fear response must be suffering from some impairment. Likely the result of a traumatic brain injury. I'd have to open you up to be sure.
A generous offer, my friend, but I don't think the agent is interested in exploratory surgeries at the moment. Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Auntie's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Choosing levity at a moment like this is only further evidence of your lack of good judgment.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend, but the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace. I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you, I will.
A calling for those with a greater than average talent for mathematics and computation, particularly in the field of predictive analysis. Yes.
Seer Wiley is being too modest about his contributions. Many in the Order rely on seers for their indispensable counsel. I myself would be lost without mine. Oh, indeed. I needn't educate you on what you can see with your very eyes. There is a great deal of pressure on me to navigate what is a rather novel situation. Without Wiley, I dare say our predicament here would be even more precarious. Many lives depend on him, on us both. Why, Matriarch's Mercy would not be the refuge it is without his predictions shepherding its development. Not if you consider the alternative. Its absence would be far more catastrophic for these poor refugees. Really, the Order is being quite charitable. That is a statue of the matriarch, Alexandra Varick. Arcadia's founder and for whom the monastery was named after. Regrettably, Alexandra Monastery is closed to non-order members at the moment, given recent troubles. But perhaps Seer Wiley can give us an estimation of its reopening.
Oh, certainly. According to my calculations, the monastery will be accessible to certain members of the public shortly.
Haha, good news indeed. Oh, you really must visit. The observatory is a true sight to behold.
Have you beheld that new rifle up at the monastery? The Oracle?
The one Harley designed, right?
Where to first, Commander? Emery Range, Zoranium Manufactory, or Outpost Opportunity?
I'd give my tenure for an hour along with it. And to select 2 clicks.
Caused the schism between the protect. Every scientician yearns to visit the archive on Earth.
Where do we go now?
One day,
Another refugee
we'll
camp? What happened to this
process all
place?
of our equations.
What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's Mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Well, look on the bright side. I predict that the worst is behind us.
I could use a break from fighting injustice. Vexing. We're at the mercy of the Order, and the Order is at the mercy of their predictions. Not to insult our gracious hosts, but these people don't wipe themselves unless an equation tells them to.
Welcome. Have you come to bask in the Order's knowledge?
Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be. Oh yeah, Duarte. He's former antis like me. He was underneath for a few hours. Or, no, that was before. This time it was Rollo Nast? No. Gert Valkenburg. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone. So they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down. Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Order won't listen. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes. They're doing something, which is better than nothing, but not by much.
A 6-hour course in remedial differential geometry. Adjust your schedule accordingly. possibly do the right thing today without knowing what will happen tomorrow? And the order of ascendant we predict tomorrow, so you can have a better You are a necessary part of the plan.
Let me know when you need a distraction. Hey, got a distraction for you. I'm the one you need to worry about. Commander, watch the vitals!
Back in business.
Are both sufficient and necessary for your positive outcomes. Share with you our deductions and their counter-positive implications.
You too can reach the pinnacle of refreshment with Omega tea.
Stranger, the Order bids you welcome. In light of the recent attack on Auntie's Choice, you may want to make haste to Matriarch's Mercy. It's just down the road here.
So it was one of our bases that got hit. Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
I can't rightly say, and that is rather concerning in its own right. It seems our temporary ceasefire with the corporatists may be at its end. Yes, this was an active war zone until recently, and now seems like it may be so again. Not quite certain why the attack was launched, but that is not under my purview. I'd surmise that when Auntie's Choice realized they couldn't get through our defensive measures, they wisely chose the path of diplomacy. Seems I was mistaken.
Well, it weren't our artillery that made that strike. I can tell you that much.
They must have done something to provoke an attack, which is why your safest path now is the one that leads to Matriarch's mercy. The Order controls everything south of this point, but the rest is beset with various dangers. Zealots, scavengers, creatures, and corporatists. Well, not certain about that last one anymore after the attack. Cultists, mad to the last one. I believe they worship the rifts or some such. People will turn to anything to ease their discomfort during times of crisis, I suppose. They're both unstable and violent. Auntie's forces call them scrappers, and uses them for just that, gathering scrap materials. Excessive abuse of stimulants has made them severely unbalanced and prone to violence. They've also been known to pose as refugees, to lure their victims into ambushes. There are several camps of them northwest of here. I'd strongly advise keeping your distance. The creatures are of the genus Varachnid. They are large enough to kill a full-grown human, and exceedingly willing to do so.
May all your endeavors elicit expected results.
I don't see anything else coming. Was it just the one?
Not turn back into an active war. This is the Order's anti-air control center. If you don't have specific business here, kindly keep moving.
Overheard what you said earlier, that nobody wants Auntie's choice here. Maybe not right now, but that tune will change once these folks see just what we're offering them. Freedom.
Freedom at the point of a gun don't strike you as a mighty forceful.
So liberation is only acceptable on your terms. Is that it?
It's acceptable when we do it because the people ask for our intervention. That's kind of the whole point of the Earth Directive.
You say that, but we both know that ain't why you or the commander came to Arcadia in the first place. What was the plan? Take what you came for and leave these folk to their fate? No. I think it ain't so much that the Earth Directorate only goes where they've been asked. It's more about what serves their interests. So, who's really the moral party here?
I ain't gonna be lectured by a corporatist. Find someone else to bluster at.
We regret to inform you Zeranium Manufactory 7 is presently under lockdown. Unauthorized entry is barred due to contrivance malfunction, laboratory mishap, and/or miscellaneous unspeakable dangers.
Please call again at a more convenient time.
Hello? Someone there? Yes? Did the missive not play, or was it garbled in some way? Are you somehow struggling with coherence? If so, to be clear, Zeranium Manufactory 7, presently and for an indeterminate time, is in lockdown. That means no external transmissions, no visitors. Wait, you have a writ? From the abbot? We don't have any means of... yes, they said they have a... yes, sir.
This is Factor Metadier. Am I to understand you have orders from the abbot? Quite convenient for you. I have no way of verifying without allowing you entry. Very well. Come inside and we'll see this sorted. Building on the left.